Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap.
Well, I tell you.
And I want the rest of you cowboys to know something. There's a new sheriff in town.
Reggie, where is it?
It's up under the sink, baby.
If you pimp, you broke pimp.
Tell me, do you know the difference between a black man and a nigger?
The nigger's the one that would even answer that question.
Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap.
Let's go. We're gonna cook up the real cost of independence, so forth and so on.
Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap. I get a rush for that bag. I got tired of these niggas, so I'm gon' bang it to drop on these niggas. Finger fuck on a Nina, I ain't got time, I just fuck on her face. Back, wait, for you niggas just cap, wait. I'm every designer the jeans, wait. I could pretend in these, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap, you niggas cap.
Let's go, man. I am the only man that offers anything for the players to learn. I am the only man that has something that the men can use, help them. Everything else the men know already. So basically, you guys watch the rest of this content for entertainment. I am the only one that has the conversation that you won't have. in your barber shop, with your friends, with your mommy, with your daddy, with your cousin, with your wife, until it's too late. I'm the only one offering the players something that they could rock with, you know? No one else is offering the players the true education, the true anything, you know? So without me, without my stuff on record, you'll learn about this stuff when it's too late. And that's not good. Who knows what goes on in history? When the future comes, who knows if people will understand what we did here? Magical family, what's good? Who knows if people would appreciate what we did here? We do know, if we hear anything of what we're talking about anywhere else, we have made a good and a key contribution to everything that's going on. Yeah, we didn't get all our quotas on these numbers or whatever, but we do have a class that men, they can answer questions, they have been informed, they have learned new things. That means a lot. So that gives me enough push to carry on and keep educating. The price of independence. Everyone thought it was, oh, you know, her age, her beauty, all these, you know, superficial things. But today we're gonna, you know, tap into some more of that independence. Also today, it always happens, I won't lie. One of the key things is when we go here, we get black men not only educated, but also to care about the black woman more than a sex toy. But, you know, that comes with a lot of other things. But at least he has the right form of care. Like, yo, bro, she is messed up more than you thought. And it goes for most women. So let's just I wanted to just roll these couple of clips, man. Oh boy. I gotta reset. Hold on, man. Yeah, but nevertheless, when we tackle, no, I want this to work. Hold on, man. When we tackle these issues, I have to continuously do it because guys will just believe that, you know, none of this stuff matters. And that's fine. That's fine. Oh, so the other girl's not going to work but I got something else.
So this is definitely not going to be as swag and cool and sexy as my other posts normally are, but
this is not going to be as swag and cool as some of my other posts. This is not about swag. So just understand, guys, the reason why that's important is because I want you guys to actually care sometimes, and this is the only way. You start, win, and lose with this perspective.
So this is definitely not going to be as swag and cool and sexy as my other posts normally are, but I feel like I have to share because just in case this helps anyone else out there. Long story short, I've been dealing with pelvic floor dysfunction and chronic UTIs, urinary tract infections for the past 10 years. I've been to every gynecologist, urologist, physical therapist, primary care doctor in both the Boston and New York area, and just countless amounts of doctor's appointments. And everyone always was saying the same thing to me. We can't find the underlying issue. All of your tests come back normal, but we can give you a ton of antibiotics to help mitigate the pain, which was super disheartening because it was chronic pain for me at that point. I was feeling it every single day, multiple times a day. The way it manifests in my body is a sharp, acute sting in my bladder, burning when I pee, and the feeling that you have to pee all day, no matter what, even if your bladder isn't full. It was also like posing so many issues with certain workouts that I did, alcohol that I drank, certain foods, having sex at certain times, stress, anything would manifest in these symptoms. So fast forward to a year ago when I finally had my IUD taken out. I had that IUD. It was called the Mirena, which is the plastic IUD that emits a small amount of hormones into your body, for 7 years. And every single doctor that I brought it up to was like, I don't think we need to look into your birth control and your IUD. I don't think that that's the issue. We've never seen any cases with the birth control causing these issues. So I kind of gave up on it. I never asked. I just kind of let it go, which is a huge bummer because it was 100% the sole cause of everything. It has been a year since I got my IUD out, and I finally actually feel like myself, like my old body back in high school, which I never ever thought I would get back. I thought I'd live with the pain every day. I got really used to it. So it's the best feeling in the world to come back to yourself. And I knew deep down that something was wrong, that this was not normal. So I'm just sharing this in case it resonates with anyone else out there that's either on an IUD or dealing with these type of issues or symptoms. I'm currently not on birth control. I'm using a very natural way to, figure out what my natural cycle is and take my temperatures and use a natural course because it's just so not worth all of the chronic pain that I've been on and been through. But I wanted to share on here just in case there's anyone out there that deals with these issues. I have so many amazing resources, both online and with books. I have awesome, really natural remedies to help mitigate the pain. And I have some amazing
I'm just getting started, so let's go to some comments. I'm just getting started. I'm just, just warming up. Just getting started. It's a whole lot out here, man. This is independence, okay?
recommendations for
Get ready with me while I tell you.
Boy, this is independence,
Do
King.
you know what story time of when I got my first story time about how my
Whoa, hold on, guys.
IUD almost ruined my entire life, honestly.
Hold on. Boy.
And here is why. I got my IUD removed about a month and a half ago, and the difference in my life that I have felt is insane. It is insane. To backtrack, when I got my IUD, I was gaining weight. I was retaining a lot of water weight. I was extremely depressed, extremely anxious. I had severe, not normal cramping, but like internal, like I could feel that thing up in there, like just stabbing. Like I don't even know how to explain it. The absolute worst decision I ever made. Fast forward a month and a half after getting it removed, best decision I ever made. Of course,
So the example is the price of independence. Okay, stay with me, guys. We're going to the price of independence, and then we'll draw a circle.
Having another kid right now will, like, it's not in my budget. It's not in my emotion.
I had an IUD put in a little over a year ago, and the side effects have just continued to get worse. And I'm going to show you and talk to you all about it. After I had my second daughter, I went about 6 months.
Okay. Let's move on then. I got it. I'm sorry, guys. A little heartbreak won't hurt you. A little heartbreak won't hurt you, player.
Menstrual cycle, didn't really know what was going on until I asked my mom. I was kind of confused. Great, I got it about 10 years old. first of my friends to get it. And then like 5th grade, 6th grade, my period started getting heavier, very, very heavy. I remember one year we went down to a beach house for Thanksgiving with our family. And I remember lying on my mom's lap in so much pain because I was bleeding so much. Like my periods were very heavy at a very young age. I remember being in middle school and carrying around like bags of Advil because I was popping like 20 a day. I know that's not healthy at all, but it was like my body was numb to it because I literally took so much and none of it didn't really help. And I remember actually my history teacher at the time called me a drug dealer because I was carrying around this Advil. I don't know if I told my parents, wish I did, but looking back on it, yeah, it's horrible. It's very horrible. But yeah, but it's because he didn't understand. Like I was in a lot of pain, even in middle school and high school too. In college, I remember having to like not go to my dance classes or different classes because I was in so much pain. So I would literally take off the day or 2 days because I was bedridden. And it didn't really get any better. And so I remember 2015 going to dinner with some of my friends. And I remember I literally threw up at the table. I don't think my period started, or maybe it started, but I remember throwing up and I was just like, what is going on? I remember feeling like these dull pains in my stomach, and I went home and the pains became sharper and sharper. And so I was just like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, like what's happening. And so kind of just like didn't really think much about it after the pain stopped. But then the next month, I remember my period, the first or 2 days was just excruciating. And like, I was just like, what's going on? Like, doesn't seem normal, but maybe, again, like maybe other women experience this. So I didn't really feed into it. But then as the months went by in 2016, the days and days, like basically my period, first day I was bedridden. The next month it'd be 2 days I was bedridden. The next month, 3 days I was bedridden. So
all right. So I know you guys don't understand. It's a lot of blah, blah, blah. But what's happening right now is she's describing how she could not possibly have basic swag as a woman. And the best thing for her would be a man that cares about her. Okay.
The time I was studying for my CPA, and I would literally have to block.
She was studying for her CPA though.
2 days I was bedridden. The next month, 3 days I was bedridden. So at the time I was studying for my CPA, and I would literally have to block off a week because I was bedridden the whole week. Like I could barely eat, I could barely sleep. So like the first 3 days are probably the worst for me in my cycle. Heavy bleeding. I would go through like probably 2 packs of pads, constantly dousing Advil, wasn't doing anything until really the 4th day. Could barely eat because I was throwing up all the time. Didn't sleep because I was in so much pain. I would literally I could see the contractions or like the cramps in my stomach.
So you're looking at a woman that'll tell you as a man to get your shit together. And you're hearing her neglect painful signs of her body and not going to the doctor. And she has parents.
Pregnant woman. And so, yeah, so I was kind of just like, what is going on? So during that time, 2016 to 2017, I would go like to the hospital here and there because the pain was just so much. And they would give me, more high potent medicine to ease the pain, but that really wasn't.
So she's been taking medicine since she was about 12 years old. So this woman's been taking medicine over 15 years.
Addressing the root issue, what was going on. So then basically the end of 2017, I believe I went to my OBGYN and she checked me out. Basically, she was just like, yeah, I see there's some stuff going on inside of you and you actually probably have ovarian cyst, fibroids, possibly there might be some other things going on. So I want to send you to go get some scans. So went to get some scans, MRI, some other stuff, like different procedures I had to do. Basically, they were just like, yeah, you have endometriosis, fibroids, and ovarian cyst. So what is all that? Again, let me go to. So endometriosis is a condition in which the inner lining of the uterus breaks.
I mean, you guys know what all this stuff is already, okay? You guys know what this stuff is already, so let's just move on.
Periods and can cause heavy periods. Fibroids are large and cause severe abdominal pain, heavy period. And then ovarian cysts are solid or filled sac or pockets within or on the surface of an ovary. So I had all those things going on with me. And so went back.
So the question is, when you hear her say she has all those things going on, as a man, do you want this type of pussy for your life? So at this point, she realizes that if men knew about her pussy, they wouldn't want that for their life, okay? For their lives.
After the OBGYN, especially she directed me to some specialist to see like if surgery was a possibility, if that's the route I should go down or just leave them alone, things of that nature. And so we went to the first doctor actually in 2016. I'm sorry, I'm making my story. In 2016, because I was starting my full-time job the first day before I went to my first day of starting my full-time career. Super excited. We went to this doctor, and we get there, and it was so it was just
Hey, be careful, guys. This is a heartbreaking story, man. You know, I tell you all the time. Or the question is, what makes a woman cry? What is the only and purest reason why a woman would cry?
no hope, basically. That was the vibe of the meeting. No hope. She was very, very cold, very cutthroat. I don't know if she just had a bad day or just, I don't know. But I remember her saying all the things that I had, all those conditions that I had. And I remember her saying, like, there's no possible way you can have children. And at that point, I kind of just shut down.
There's no possible way you could have children with the conditions of your box. No, you didn't do anything wrong. But if you was going to have a baby or whatever, you should have been trying it. That life you was destined to live where you could do your thing in your 20s and then have a baby in your 30s, that's out. Now, the price of independence or the cost of independence lies here. It doesn't lie in body count. It doesn't lie in all of these other things that you're watching. Body count is irrelevant.
All the things that I had, all those conditions that I had. And I remember her saying, like, there's no possible way you can have children. And at that point, I kind of just shut down. I wasn't really hearing anything at that point. Everything kind of went black, kind of. And it was kind of like Charlie Brown, like, wah, 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 that teacher. That's kind of how it was. Like, everything she was saying was very muffled. Like, I was just kind of shut down, kind of just like, dang, I can never have children one day. Like, that's crazy. And so I was trying to be strong for my parents. I didn't want to cry in front of them. I'm not saying crying's wrong, but at the moment I was just like, I got to be strong for them. So went to the car, and my mom turned around and she looked at me and she said, what report are we going to believe? And that's something my mom has said throughout my life. It's a verse in the Bible. And I said to her, I looked at her and I said, we're going to believe the report of the Lord. And my mom randomly flipped open her Bible and it landed on a passage in Isaiah. I can't remember if it's Isaiah. It's in the 50s, Isaiah 55, maybe, or 56. But basically talks about how God is the God who opens wombs and closes wombs. He's the one who gives children. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think in that moment, the Lord was showing us that, like, to be strong, to have faith in him, to believe on that promise, that he is the one who does these things, not man. And so at that moment, I was like, okay, like, we can do this. Like, even though I was still had a lot of questions, a lot of things racing through my mind, that verse gave me hope. And again, I don't think that was my chance. And so before my parents dropped me off at the Metro.
So there you have it, guys. There you have it, man. I know it's a little heartbreaking, man. I know. Yo, Prince, I dated a gladiator a few years ago. Oh, man, who had cysts. I had compassion for her, showed her understanding and love. She tried to destroy my business last Saturday. Oh, come on, man. Now, that's painful. That's outright painful, because that is the sinister behavior. Like I say, you get your most fire from the box and you get your most sorrow from the box. The only reason that you guys will never see it, not Magical Family and my guys, but most guys will never see it because you're not educated about the box. Which this was my expertise, medical terms, science, biology, and anatomy. I'm good at looking at shit, making an accurate estimation, a higher mathematical type of guy. I agree, man. A lot of us took the wrong studies up, right? You know I did. This woman has broken down. Why did she break down, class? Because of her box. You understand? It's not cool.
And like a lot of needles, lots of just horrible things to keep me in. She had to sleep on a couch or on a chair for like about 4 months just to keep me in. You're destined for great things. And so it's your turn to have faith. And so I took that to heart. It's definitely, still very fragile. Dropped me off the Metro, I was crying the whole way, just like what is going on? Like, how is this happening? You know?
How is this happening? Why does this happen to me?
And so first day of work, I was excited to be there. So grateful for the opportunity to start my career, but also part of me was faking it because I just wanted to go home and cry and just be left alone and not have to fake smile in front of everyone. So time passed, kind of was like still looking for different doctors, different physicians to get second opinions, third opinions, fourth opinions. Went to two of the doctors. They were kind of saying the same thing, that they would have to remove my ovaries entirely, wouldn't be able to have children. So we're kind of just like, yeah, no, like I definitely want the opportunity to have children one day. If that's
I definitely want the opportunity to have children one day. Okay. What I have taught you is that they don't necessarily want children. They want the opportunity. They want to be able to hold that over your head, appearing to you as a pure and wholesome individual that you could possibly breed with, well educated, went to school for her CPA, da 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 da. You know? And you don't know, this woman has been dealing with a lot in her life. She is a broken soul, and you know, she can be of value to a man. She got some strong features and look like she can give some great head if she really into her man. Yes, she has way more better features. Maybe your box ain't your strong suit, but you've been so systemically programmed that women think box is the strong suit. Not only that, men, we love box, and we, you know, well, most of us pose it as a strong suit. And like I say, in order for, I mean, it's going to always be a strong suit. Look, you can have 10K sex hours, you still want some box. You understand? You understand me? So it's just that they have a way of trying to maneuver with the box as if it's greater than your eggplant. It's impossible.
That's something I want. So like, I don't want that to be taken away from me just because what's going on. And so we finally, long story short, some stuff happened in between. I had to go to the emergency room. Also, I went to the emergency room actually, because all of a sudden this was like, I had a period and like the pains were excruciating. Like I literally started screaming because I was in so much pain. My parents rushed me to the hospital, just in so much pain. I remember getting to the hospital and just asking to see a doctor like ASAP. So I was just, wow. I remember blacking out. Like that's the first time I ever blacked out. I was sitting in the wheelchair. First of all, I was freezing, but I was sitting in the wheelchair and my head was in my knees. I remember just blacking out. Like everything just kind of went like silent in a sense. And I remember thinking to myself, like, God, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It would almost be better just take me out, take me to heaven, because I'm just.
What have I taught you, class? I know it's a little dry. I know it's a little boring. Class is not always fun. What have I taught you? Complications with the box could lead to such a physical and mental depression that she wants to be taken out. After all, you understand? She knows. She knows. Is that something? How many times have I showed you women say this about their own lives?
Almost be better. Like, kind of went like silent in a sense. And I remember thinking to myself, like, God, like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It would almost be better just take me out, take me to heaven, because I'm just, I don't know if I can do this. I was just over it. Like, and
like I said, man, it's very painful, fam. I know. That nigga, what's good? This woman just asked the Lord to take her out based on some complications. Let me see. I think I might want to move on. I mean, she broke down. Matter of fact, I'll show that nigga. I'll show him. I'll show my homie. Fuck it. That is my, y'all know what my favorite parts of these videos be, right? I'm not going to ask the class that question. I'll just show you. You know what my favorite is when it hits, when it finally hits, man.
Went back to the OBGYN. Basically, she directed me to some day. Before I went to my first day of starting my full-time career, super excited. We went to this doctor. And we get there, and it was so, it was just no hope, basically. That was the vibe of the meeting, no hope. She was very...
She went to the doctor, and the doctor told her she has no hope for her box. I know it ain't funny, but it makes me laugh. That's my part.
Very cold, very cutthroat. I don't know if she just had a bad day or just, I don't know. But I remember her saying all the things that I had, all those conditions that I had. And I remember her saying, like, there's no possible way you can have children. And at that point, I kind of just shut down. I wasn't really hearing anything at that point. Everything kind of went black, kind of. And it was kind of like Charlie Brown, like, wah, 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 that teacher. That's kind of how it was. Like, everything she was saying was very muffled. Like, I was just kind of shut down, kind of just like, dang, I can never have children one day. Like, that's crazy. And so I was trying to be strong for my parents. I didn't want to cry in front of them. I'm not saying crying's wrong, but at the moment I was just like, I gotta be strong for them. So went to the car and
yo, this woman is outright crying, son. She's outright crying. She's just telling the story. Story of what? Everything that they hold against you, brothers. I know it ain't cool, but let's move on, man. It's, you know, I don't want to laugh at the woman. Let's go.
My mom turned around and she looked at me and she said, what report are we going to believe? And that's something my mom has said throughout my life. It's a verse in the Bible. And I said to her, I looked at her and I said, we're going to believe the report of the Lord. And my mom randomly flipped open her Bible and it landed on a passage in Isaiah.
King Disagreeable said it a long time ago, guys. He said, yo, women pray over each other's pussy. You know, with your hands closed, they pray over each other's pussy. Now, taking care of it is a whole nother story. Let's go. Key, what's good? She don't need to put on eyelashes, eyebrows, a lot of makeup, and a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, she's a nice looking girl. Yeah. It's so heartbreaking. I get it, man. It's a heartbreaking story, man.
I didn't want to cry in front of them. I'm not saying crying's wrong, but at the moment I was just like, I gotta be strong for them. So went to the car and my mom turned around and she looked at me and she said, what report are we going to believe? And that's something my mom has said throughout my life. It's a verse in the Bible. And I said to her, I looked at her and I said, we're going to believe the report of the Lord. And my mom randomly flipped open her Bible and it landed on a passage in Isaiah. I can't remember if it's Isaiah. It's in the 50s, Isaiah 55, maybe or 56. But basically talks about how God is a God who opens wombs and closes wombs. He is one who gives children. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think in that moment, the Lord was showing us that, like, to be strong, to have faith in him, to believe on that promise, that he is the one who does these things, not man. And so.
Sorry, man. Sorry, King. Yeah, but shit. Yeah, but being able to see this ahead of time when you talk to ladies now, it's absolutely hilarious. They get so wounded by the experience. Magical family, they get so wounded by the experience. It's hard to support them. The hopelessness and worthlessness is so devastating. They'll likely end up despising you for the limitations you don't have. It's weird. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I'll let her say it.
Looking back on it, yeah, it's horrible. It's very horrible, excruciating. And like, I was just like, the first 3 days are probably the worst for me. Yeah, like, so I was kind of just like bloating before menstrual periods and can cause heavy periods. My OBGYN, and she checked me out. Basically, she was just like, yeah, I see there's some stuff going on inside of you, and you actually probably have ovarian cyst, fibroids, possibly there might be some other things going on. So I want to send you to go get some scans. So went to get some scans, MRI, some other stuff, like different procedures I had to do. Basically, they were just like, yeah, you have endometriosis, fibroids, and ovarian cyst I had to do. Basically, they were just like, yeah, you have endometriosis, fibroids, different procedures I had to do. Basically, they were just like, yeah, you have endometriosis, fibroids.
All right, you got it. You got it, player. I got you covered, pimp. I got you covered, pimp.
Found in any and all parts of the body, any of your organs. It's a chronic condition and it is recognized as a disability. I've had painful, heavy periods for quite a long time, and I just was masking them by using birth control. I decided to get back on the birth control pill because when I tried to get off it, my periods were absolutely horrendous. They were so...
So, brothers, class, when you hear a woman telling you on birth control, now that you have learned the real truth of box, when you hear a woman say she's on birth control, do you automatically believe that she is trying not to conceive because she has her career in order? Do you automatically believe that now? When you hear birth control, you used to believe that, oh, I could shoot up the club. You just a wholesome woman. You're on birth control till you get married and whatever, right? You don't believe that anymore, right?
I just was masking them by using birth control. I decided to get back on the birth control pill because when I tried to get off it, my periods were absolutely horrendous. They were so painful. There were days in the month where I just literally couldn't leave the house because I would be in so much pain. I remember even just being like curled up on my kitchen floor.
Well, Key, that's a good statement. Now, like I said, Key, we've all experienced it, dog. We've all experienced being with women. You know, they bleed on you. You think it's period. You understand? We've all been like with women, and she say she got her period, and then days go by, and you like, yo, what's good? Can we hook up now? She like, nah, I still got my period. You like, what's going on? So it's been things that you've seen in your everyday life. You understand? You've seen women like, you know, say that they, oh God, here we go. When I hear birth control, I hear my pussy's broken. Because they took the flavor out of it. We used to think it that it was about, yeah, man. We used to in the red light, because you know how it was. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it wouldn't be a red light when you first start, or you may like get into it and you don't look down right away. You end up looking down. You like, what the hell's going on here? You understand?
In pain, unable to move some mornings because the pain was just so intense. And for some reason, that level of pain didn't raise red flags in my head. I just thought it's normal to be in pain whilst you're menstruating, because I hear so many women saying that they also had painful periods. So I didn't really think it was something that I needed to investigate or to see my doctor about. And I wish I had investigated it sooner, because now knowing that I have endometriosis, maybe my endo may not have reached this stage if I did something about it sooner and if I had gone to see a doctor sooner. But I can't turn back the hands of time. It's done. So I'm just now trying to do the best that I can now with the knowledge that I can now. I'm really trying to educate myself about endometriosis.
Like I said, fellas, when you hear women talk, why don't they talk like this? Why is it all of this other stuff? You know, talk in a way where we like, yo, I understand, sis. Oh, you going through that? Yo, I'm damn sure sympathetic to your situation. Oh, you want to hook up? Oh, okay. So your pussy work like what, 5 times a month? Oh, okay. I think I could work with that. Should have known something was wrong because she was extra brown, boy.
Endometriosis and what it is and how to alleviate the symptoms naturally and holistically, because these are things that your doctor won't mention or tell you about when they start supporting you with your endo journey. So I'm really just trying to learn everything that I can myself so that I can really support myself and advocate for myself properly. And I think this is so important for all of us to do, regardless of what illness we have, whether it's endo or fibroids or PCOS or some other type of chronic illness, chronic condition. So I came to know that I have endo in December of 2023. So I was diagnosed as a result of various imaging kind of like processes. I had 2 ultrasounds, one which was external and one which was transvaginal. And then I also had a pelvic MRI scan, and it was the MRI scan that confirmed that I have endometriosis. Mine was able to be detected by those imaging techniques because I've got stage 4 endometriosis, which is the most severe stage. Endo isn't always detectable via imaging techniques. Sometimes the lesions just aren't visible, or they may be behind certain organs. But yeah, mine was detectable by the imaging techniques that they used. From what I've read, imaging techniques, like, they're quite, terms for quite a long time. Not as long as some of the stories that I've heard. Some ladies, their symptoms start when they're a teenager. My periods were absolutely fine when I was in secondary school, when I was young. But I think my endo probably started to formulate, I suspect, in my 20s. But because I was on a birth control pill, I didn't have any symptoms. So I wasn't aware that something was happening in my body and that something wasn't quite right.
See that? That's why that nigga said when he hears birth control, he hear my pussy's broken. See, because they'll just take birth control for no reason because they don't want to live with a red light. I hate to bring this up all the time, but they don't want to live with a red light, but they hold that against the transgenders as womanhood. It's just these people are sick in the head, fam. Don't you get it?
So not that I'm fully against the birth control pill, but one of the negatives of taking the birth control pill is that it masks things that your body is going through. You're not as in tune with your body as you would be if you weren't on the pill, because you're not having a genuine period and your body isn't going through the natural cycle that it usually goes through without, in the absence of taking birth control.
So they're not grown, their bodies are not morphing into a grown woman because they're on birth control their whole damn lives. I know we covered this, but I have to do it so you know what you're talking about if you're having a conversation or if you want to use this to gun a woman down talking that bullshit. Let's go.
So unfortunately, I wasn't in tune with my body. I didn't know what was happening to it on a month-to-month basis. And it was only when I was in my early 30s when I came off the pill.
God damn, early 30s. Ma'am, are you taking any questions? Do you think if I got a woman who didn't do what you did to her pussy as of what you did, do you think I have a better chance of having a healthier baby?
Unfortunately, I wasn't in tune with my body. I didn't know what was happening to it on a month-to-month basis. And it was only when I was in my early 30s when I came off the pill did I start to feel or experience all the symptoms related with endometriosis. So my periods became extremely heavy. Like when I started having genuine natural periods when I was off the birth control pill, my periods were so heavy. They were extremely painful.
So the natural flow of her pussy was whack, at least to her. And she didn't want to be the type of woman who we would say, ma'am, oh, what's up? You're a nice woman. Oh, your pussy is only available like 3 to 5 times a month. Other than that, you fucked up. So you got to be nice to a man. No, she'll inject birth control in her body to mask it, to fuck up her body earlier than it should be. So she don't have to cater to you because her pussy works more than 5 days a month because she got the birth control.
Honestly, like the first day, second day, and usually the third day of my periods, I was wiped out. I was usually in so much pain that I could barely shower upright. I could barely stand upright. I could barely walk around the house upright without cowering in pain. I couldn't even fathom the thought of trying to leave the house in the first couple of days of my period because usually I would be in so much pain I wouldn't be able to walk down the street or jump on the train or anything because the pain would just be so intense. I would also have things like lower back pain and pelvic pain. Mentally, I would just be absolutely exhausted and drained because physically my body felt like an absolute mess. I have really painful bowel movements when I'm on my period. Honestly, I know this is TMI, but if I need to do a number 2 when I'm on my period, it would feel like everything in my body is just coming out. Like my body feels like it wants to expel things, but at the same time, I'm clenching and I'm trying to, not let the things come out because when it does come out, it's just so painful. There are so many nerves in and around our pelvic area.
You guys get it. You get it. She'll be honest to you on the internet, but she won't be honest to the man she's making love to. You guys get it.
Past this part and
hey guys, so let's talk about it. I'm going to address some questions about my surgery and my scars. I am literally a little over 7 months post-op from a laparoscopic myomectomy where I had 8 fibroids removed. And I'm going to address this question and a couple of the other questions that I get all the time.
See that swag? See that swag when you get that reconstructed box? You see that?
we're on the road to healing and recovery.
That's swag, son. Hold on a second, pimp. This stuff is pretty rough. My God. All right. We got a guy. I don't want to deal with the men right now.
Some more bad news. Just found out that my cancer is terminal.
Oh boy.
Cancer you can't.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, so I just came back from the store. I went to church today, and I just wanted to say, what are we eating? Everyone is talking about diet. Oh, if you eat the same things you're gonna get fibroids again. What's your new diet? I'm trying to have some breakfast yogurt because it's good for your digestion. And
yeah, that's a great point, man. That's a great point. Constant begging for a person to put their mouth down there when they know it's toxic. And guess what? Now that opens up the class right there. We're not just talking about the stuff that you see on the screen. We're talking about preventive medication or curing medication like topical creams, Monistat. Like, it's a lot going on, guys, that I don't even get into. You understand? But yeah, they want you guys to go down. It is rough. It is rough. This is for my homie. It gets rough out here, King.
There is no miracle product that can help your hair grow. Everything starts internally. As for me and my lifestyle, I am in a very good mental space. I exercise regularly, and I also eat a very balanced diet every day. I can show you all the hair care products that work for my hair, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to work for yours. We may have different hair porosities, different densities.
Other people do too. What's the other question a lot of people ask? How long? Take care of yourself, you know?
Like I said, that giveaway is going on. We have about 3
Yo, these people are sick.
Oh my God, what is
Hold on, they messing me up. Hold on, pimp. I want you to show this. I want to show you this hair thing.
One of the most embarrassing things about people
Here we go. This for my homie.
is the hair that grows on my chin. I mean, it's not just a few. It's thick, it coarse, and it comes so fast. Like, it's so fast that I can't even manage it. Like, if you're dealing with PCOS, you know exactly what I mean. Them hormone imbalances that come from PCOS, it leads to excess production of androgens. Those are mirror hormones that cause unwanted hair growth, especially on the face. For me, it's my chin. It affects my confidence, y'all, so much more than I want to even admit. Like, I'm constantly plucking my hair. Anytime I'm in the car and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, like, you see hair. And when that sun out, it shows so much more. Like, you guys listen. In between my wax appointments, I'm definitely plucking. I'm plucking. I have to keep tweezers in my purse because, baby, this hair don't stop. And why I love how fast my hair grows when I take my Vital Thick Complex pills from my Grow Me Out box. The downside is that it also makes the facial hair grows even faster. Like, wherever there's follicles, oh, your hair is growing. I've tried drinking peppermint tea, spearmint tea, hoping that it would slow down the growth. But for me, it just don't work. Like, if you're dealing with chin hair from PCOS, this, like, let's talk about it in the comments below. And remember, you are not alone in this. Well, we'll get through this journey and manage our PCOS and feel more confident together. Like, just help me. Like, and this is what
So that right there is to help you, you know, when you out and about. I want you to know, well, you know, sometimes it's a gift and a curse. You'll always start noticing women with PCOS and stuff. You'll start noticing things and, you know, noticing mustaches and beards and shit. You understand? It's all about the pussy, King.
Ordinary.
Hair is for the ladies wondering why you have those hairs growing out of your chin, face, stomach, or breast. You probably have PCOS, which causes facial hair in women caused by the male hormone known as androgen.
Class is in session, guys. This is for when you're out and about and you see bitches with the beards and all that. You like, oh, okay.
Why you have those hairs growing out of your chin, face, stomach, or breast. You probably have PCOS, which causes facial hair in women caused by the male hormone known as androgens. And that's how you get all that excessive hair growth. Now, you know this can be super embarrassing, uneasy, and uncomfortable. And if you're sick and tired of looking at them, waxing, plucking, or shaving, Natural Organic Skincare did an article on how drinking
They out there drinking spearmint tea. They doing everything. For what, class? What is all of this for, class? Come on, you know these answers, bro. Come on now.
cups of spearmint tea can combat that hair growth. So it works by reducing the hormone and testosterone levels so that you can stop producing it.
Okay, so this is for all my PCOS girlies. So, or anyone who struggles with hirsutism. Hirsutism is when you start growing like coarse, thick hair that grows on parts of the body that it's not supposed to grow on. And it's due to a hormonal imbalance. So, for instance, for women, it would grow on, you know, your chin and like your mustache area and your chest sometimes, boobs, like other places where the hair is just not supposed to grow. Anyways, I was self-diagnosed with PCOS last year. And one of the first symptoms that I was experiencing was hirsutism. And I was getting it on like a little patch on my chin. It started off small, but then I started to notice there were like random strands of like coarse hairs growing out of my chin. It was...
Now, brothers, we'll still hit it. You're all woman. The problem or the class that we're dealing with is the price of independence. They're willing to do all of these things to still fleece instead of just getting with a man that likes them. It's sickening, bro. And being good to that man. They'll go through surgeries and BBLs and medications and waxing and tearing up their skin and everything. Sinister shit. Just to fleece you guys. Yeah, it's messing with her self-esteem for sure. Oh, don't forget about depression, antidepressants, numbing drugs, all these Nexplans and all these drugs, man. All for self-esteem.
I was crying every night. I felt like I was going to grow a beard. I was doing a lot of research and decided I did not want to use medications. I wanted to go the holistic route. And my mom suggested to do a...
Yeah, guys, we know. Holistic. Everybody goes holistic when that pussy starts failing. We know.
I've never had this much hair on my face before.
Okay, so I just wanted to like check in. I have been having like a teen wolf moment. I'm 35. And started to notice thinning in my hair. And one of the things that I decided to do was to go on like this little like hair med pill called like Hers. I know Hims and Hers, there's all kinds of things, whatever. But like,
hold on.
It's been working. It's been
I've never had this much hair on my
Minoxidil. Okay, so Minoxidil gave me a beard. What does that mean? Hold on, guys. Minoxidil gave me a beard. I've never heard of what that is. Okay, so hold on. Minoxidil gave Minoxidil beard. Yo, these. Oh, what the hell? Oh shit! Oh shit!
These are the reasons why you should use minoxidil.
Oh! Yo, this is crazy what the women are doing, or the transgenders.
These are the reasons why you should use minoxidil to grow your edges. First of all, it makes your hair super flaky.
Hold on. So these women are using minoxidil but it's normally for the studs to grow their beards, and the women are using it for their edges. Hold on.
Makes your hair super flaky, like white flakes falling out the sky.
Oh, so you ever saw a girl that got the baby hair, and you see those white flakes? I be seeing young girls. You ever see them girls that got that dried up baby hair with the white flakes on it? They didn't take care of it. This is what it is. Oh.
First of all, it makes your hair super flaky, like white flakes falling out the sky. It causes headaches that last for days. You will grow facial hair. You will grow a beard or a mustache or both. It will make your edges grow all the way to your eyebrows. You'll have hair all on your cheeks, around your eyes. You know, it also creates heart problems. Like your heart starts skipping beats. You have to use it every day for it to work. The main thing is, if you stop using it, all your hair just gonna fall out. All the hair that you grew, it's just gonna be gone. Like just gone. The moment that you stop, the minute that you stop, it's gonna fall out. Listen to me, ladies, when I tell you this. Do not use minoxidil like I did.
Oh! Oh! Oh, shit. This is what they're doing, King. Zim Zim, what's good? Oh, shit.
You see the hair coming on my face? I have never had this much hair on my face.
Oh, shit.
Now, I did mention that minoxidil comes with its fair share of side effects. So I'm just going to read off a few of them for you so you know just exactly what you could be getting yourself into. Some of these side effects include acne at the site of application, increased
shit.
at the root of the hair.
Yo, these people are sick.
Also, my thoughts on it is more so.
These people are sick, man.
3 months on minoxidil transformation.
Yo, these people are sick, son. Yo! What the fuck?
TikTok did get right, you guys. That damn minoxidil. I only had these braids in for about a week. Maybe a week and a half. Some change.
Oh, shit, son. My fault. My fault. So the women are using what the men and the studs use to grow a beard. Man, I guess it never stops, man. They'll do anything to fleece you niggas or look good against each other. All right, man.
Wow. Our cats just love great customers.
Are very similar. So I figured I would answer those questions as well in this video, but just giving you guys an overview of what the past year has been for me now that I've completed a year. So, and also like where I'm going from here, like what my plan is. So May of 2023 was when I started this journey. For a little background, I have PCOS, which is a hormonal condition that can affect so many different things. One of that being difficulty losing weight, and the kicker is real easy to gain weight. So it's easy to gain weight and hard to lose weight with PCOS, amongst many other things. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with PCOS. I know a lot of you who follow me have PCOS, but if you're not familiar with it, definitely look it up and see the things that we go through, okay? Because it's a lot. Between having PCOS, gaining excess weight during pregnancy, and postpartum depression, which I had and didn't know until years later, I basically never looked.
All right, we heard something. We heard something, class. So she had PCOS and she wanted to give that man a baby or have a baby on her own. That means that she does not care how healthy that baby, you know, she cares, but whatever happens, she'll take care of it. Just put it like that.
I know a lot of you who follow me have PCOS, but if you're not familiar with it, definitely look it up and see the things that we go through, okay? Because it's a lot. Between having PCOS, gaining excess weight during pregnancy, and postpartum depression, which I had and didn't know until years later, I basically never lost my pregnancy weight. I just kept adding to it. I would lose 20 pounds here and there over the past 9 years, but never was able to get down to a manageable, healthy weight. So I got up to 200, I want to say close to 215 at one point. That was like my heaviest. And then eventually I got to like 210 when I started the medication. So I started around 210. I'm pretty sure that's where I started. I'm currently between 133 and 135. I fluctuate between these numbers. So that's where I am currently. So I've lost a total of around 75, 76 pounds, like somewhere along there. So I've lost a total of 75, 76 pounds over the past year, which most of that weight was lost in the first 7 months. I want to say the past maybe 3 months has not been much change, but in those months I've definitely built a lot more muscle. That's been my goal since I want to say like January, February. That became my goal to like build and tone my body. And we got gains, okay? As I've mentioned before, being overweight affected my health. My metabolic numbers were all over the place. It also affected my confidence, just my daily life. Simple things like taking a long walk was an issue for me. Like I started getting back pain. Honestly, I had back pain for years and years and years and thought it was everything from my mattress to just my shoes. I changed out shoes at one point. Yeah, as soon as I lost the bulk of the weight, the back pain was gone, vanished, disappeared, like it never existed. I actually didn't even realize when it went away. I just all of a sudden woke up one day and said, wait a minute, my back is not hurting. I would literally have to roll out of bed and be so careful to not turn the wrong way. I also had trouble like walking on the treadmill or at the park for a long time. Just my back was not hurting. So it made exercising harder. My body was going through it mentally and physically. So I had to do something. And I tried all the things, all the natural things, because I know y'all like that word, natural. The natural things. And
Why do women want to go natural, and why do women go surgical? Why do women go natural and why do women go surgical? I'll give you the answer, guys, because it's based on time. You see, if she has a husband, she's going to go surgical. She got a good man that she fleeced, she's going to go surgical. If she's still out here on the streets, she'll try to do it naturally, okay? What your PCF Pussycat Facts report hold? That's what we want to know. Well, she got PCOS, and we don't know how many things she had, but then she had mental issues because she was overweight. Now, the key to this video, is she went on Wegovy. She went on Wegovy with the PCOS. Okay. But that's all I want to do for this one. I want to go to this other girl. I just wanted her to tell y'all to your face, yo, she got that work. All right, let's go. Let's finish this one up. Now, this girl here, she, you know, it's the same story. Once these women find out how they misplayed their box, it's a two-sided story. It's painful, but it's less painful if they fleeced the man already. That's the only way I can answer that. The only way I can answer that, yo.
And what's the implication for me? Because endometriosis affects people differently. So I was just listening to her, and then she told me that, oh, I remember you used to complain about heavy periods and I told you to go on birth control. Excuse me? So are you trying to tell me that it's my fault that I have endometriosis because I didn't take birth control? You guys are just diagnosing me with it right now. So you didn't know I had endometriosis. So you're not asking me to take birth control because I had endometriosis. You're asking me to take birth control because my periods were painful. Okay? So I didn't appreciate how she was acting, but I didn't really call her out because I was still in shock of my diagnosis. She just explained to me what endometriosis is and how it can affect fertility. And oh my God, I don't want to.
Oh my God, I don't want to cry. Class, this is the easiest question that I have taught you. This ain't got nothing to do with biology or nothing. This is something that you have learned in this class over and over. What is the only time a woman would cry for real? I played it for you earlier. What is the only time that a woman would cry for real? The only time you could truly believe when you see this woman's tears. The only time she'll cry by just thinking about something. Not this other shit that you guys are accustomed to. So when you step to her in the health food store and she has a boyfriend, you can tell her she's bullshitting. Platt, you are on point, Platt. Hey, Platt, so what time is it out there now? Because I wanted to, I don't know, you said it was early in the morning? So that means I got to do a late night stream to catch you? Let's go.
I was still in shock of my diagnosis. She just explained to me what endometriosis is and how it can affect fertility. And oh my God, I don't want to. So she asked me if I wanted to see my scan, and I said yes, because I want to see what's inside me, and I need an explanation, obviously. She told me that I had 2 cysts. One is a chocolate cyst, and that's when your endometriosis progress to like, how to say, when your endometriosis progressing to a worse stage, I think it's stage 3 or 4. That's when it's bad, because it's a cyst that is formed with old blood, pretty much. And she told me that I had 2. One was a chocolate cyst, and it was like 10 to 12 centimeters. And the other one,
Yo, I'm gonna do a live stream for you, son. I'm gonna go late night, man. You know what I'm saying? Where that's the only streams I don't do anyway. So I'm gonna go late night for you, so you can be alert, okay?
She said it was just a cyst, but she couldn't really tell me what the other one was, and I'll let you guys know why later down.
Well, a chocolate cyst. I know you guys never heard that term before. A chocolate cyst. It's really something like called a dermoid cyst. Okay, it's like a hardened cyst. Some of the other cysts are liquid. Okay, I hope I'm right.
Chocolate cyst, and it was like 10 to 12 centimeters. And the other one, she said it was just a cyst, but she couldn't really.
Yeah, I'm right.
That's when it's bad, because
hold on, what she said?
Cyst progress to like how to say, when your endometriosis progressing to a worse stage, I think it's stage 3 or 4. That's when it's bad, because it's a cyst that is formed with old blood, pretty much. And she told me that I had 2. One was a chocolate cyst, and it was like 10 to 12 centimeters. And the other one, she said it was just a cyst, but she couldn't really tell me what the other one was. And I'll let you guys know why later down the road. Looking at the scan, she looked terrified. She looked concerned.
She was at the doctor's office, and the doctor looked terrified and concerned by the read of this woman's box, who has already fleeced her husband. Let's go.
So I knew that I was in trouble. And she told me that we have to remove it. I mean, she can't tell me what to do, but it's not safe for me to keep those 2 big cysts, that they could burst. She also said that it could be a possibility that it was cancer. And if it was cancer, they'll have to remove my uterus. And she also told me that I could lose 1 ovary as well, but I shouldn't. And I started crying. And then
I started crying. Y'all know what it is, King. Ain't no man did nothing to that woman. You understand? That's the price of independence, King. You don't know what you're doing, sister. They've taught you wrong.
She said, oh, but don't worry, the chances of cancer are slim. Even if they take out 1 ovary, you can still have babies with just 1 ovary. And I was like, at that point, I just blanked out. I just wanted to be out of there. I didn't want her to be my doctor anymore.
What have y'all learned? When the doctors tell them about their bad box, they start sounding like Charlie Brown, and she didn't want to hear her no more. It's not cool.
Also, she told me that because my endometriosis was so advanced, she was not going to perform surgery on me. Well, thank goodness, because I didn't want this one anywhere near me. And then she's going to refer to me to the specialist, the expert for endometriosis. And I thank God for this man to today. Like, he's amazing. Also, she had me do a CT scan to make sure that it's not cancer, or to make sure it hadn't spread. She had me take blood tests to test for cancer. So I did all of that the same day, and I went home, waiting for my appointment with my new gynecologist. And while I waited, I got the blood result back for the cancer test. But one of the tests was CA125, and the other one was carcinoembryonic antigen. And both of my results were above normal, which is kind of concerning because testing for cancer, So I freaked out. Those 2 weeks, I was so depressed, asking God, like, why me?
Class, what have I taught you? They say, why me? They talk to God, and they often say, take me, God. You understand? That's how bad it gets, gang. Son Welbeck, I see you. It hurts. It hurts, man. It's the price of independence, man. They want to live this life away from men. And that's why we call them gladiators, man, because they are tough. What that woman said last video, I used to have back pains and I would walk and I would gut it out and I would be the tough person that I'm showing up to be.
Before that, I never questioned my fertility. I always knew, you know, I'm fertile. Like I never questioned it.
I always knew I was fertile. I always knew I was the prized possession. I always knew I was fertile. I always knew I had that over men. That if you want me, I got something to offer. Sorry, gang.
I was so depressed, asking God, like, why me? But before that, I never questioned my fertility. I always knew, you know, I'm fertile. Like I never questioned it because I never thought about kids. But then when
see, what have I taught you, class? They don't really want kids. They just want to have that to say over the man. No, I could make kids if you get with me. But all they say is, I don't want kids. But then the secret is, we know you can't have none. And if you do, they won't be as healthy as the ones who didn't mistreat themselves. Mocha Ricans for the win. Yeah, she not bad looking. Sounds yeah. She came over here. She's from a different country or something. Right, Zim. Right, Zim. I thought they said they don't want kids. Yes. But if you never heard what we said over here, if you wasn't a class participant over here, you would never know. They just want the ability to make kids. And guess what? When they find out they don't have that ability, guess what? They want to go to somebody who does not know about the Pussycat Facts Report until it's too late. You know the story. It's the same old story, son.
man, yeah. Me. But before that, I never questioned my fertility. I always knew, you know, I'm fertile. Like I never questioned it because I never thought about kids. But then when I met Tattoo and I see how he's such an amazing husband, then I started thinking about having kids, you know. And now this is happening.
One more time.
But then when I met Tattoo and
But when I met her husband name is Tattoo. Her husband name is Tattoo. Okay. So she fleeced this man. Now look what happened when she didn't want kids until she met her husband Tattoo. Listen.
I never questioned it because I never thought about kids. But then when I met Tattoo and I see how he's such an amazing husband.
I see how Tattoo is such an amazing husband. Pay attention. This is everything. This is everything right here. I can't give you any more game than this, where a woman is letting you know, I have a good man that I have fleeced. So it's the best I could give.
I'm fertile. Like I never questioned it because I never thought about kids. But then when I met Tattoo and I see how he's such an amazing husband, then I started thinking about having kids, you know. And now this is happening. Like, why is this happening? What have I done for this to happen to me, you know? So it was really nerve-wracking not knowing what was going on, what those results meant. But the day finally came, and I met with my new gynecologist, the one that was going to perform the surgery on me. Oh, God bless that man. He's a white male. God bless that man. Because as soon as he walked in, he made me feel so much better. So much better. He told me that he knew that I probably was freaking out because my blood test came out high, but he said it's normal when you have cysts in your ovaries. I had 2 ovarian cysts, and I'll explain to you guys why I say this. So I had 2 ovarian cysts, and he said that because they're so big, my cancer antigen levels are elevated, but it doesn't mean I have cancer. And that based on the ultrasound, the transvaginal ultrasound they did and the CT scan, he thinks that the chance of me having cancer, of it being cancer, like 1%. That I should not worry, and that we're gonna get through this. And this man is truly God sent, and the fact that I got this man, and guys, I don't have the best insurance. Also, me and Tattoo's insurance are not combined yet. We plan to do that next year, but I had the best.
Pay attention. Me and Tattoo's insurance are not combined yet. We plan on doing that next year. What have I taught you? So now this man's insurance got to be based on reconstructing the box to have a child who you know is not 100% coming through 100% box. And she'll do it just not to let Tattoo go be that good, amazing man that she described to a healthier woman. Come on, guys. So what does that mean? That means he's a saint and she's a sinner. Because she should say, Tattoo, man, you will be an amazing father to some kids, man. You should go have as many kids as your heart desires. And you know Tattoo gonna be like, no, but I love you. And she should force that nigga, man.
Best surgeon. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm so happy because I had the best surgeon. So a couple of days later, I got a call from one of his nurses that told me that based on my charts, I was low in iron, so I need to do iron transfusion twice a month.
Here we go. Now Tattoo got a girl after he married her that got to go get iron transfusions twice a month. Do any of you men in the class want that for your life? Tattoo is getting a raw deal.
So a couple of days later, I got a call from one of his nurses that told me that based on my charts, I was low in iron, so I need to do iron transfusion twice a month for 3 months. So I had to have 6 iron infusions, so I couldn't have my surgery for 3 months. And I was like, what if this cyst pop? What if they pop? Now that I knew I had cysts, it was kind of scary thinking of even having sex. So, but I guess I have to trust my surgeon. If he thought that me having iron transfusion is necessary, then that's what I was gonna do. Meanwhile,
no, we're not gonna let her pop past that. It was kind of scary to have sex because listen, Tattoo, I gotta get this pussy fixed first before you could beat this pussy up. Tattoo. Damn.
it was kind of scary thinking of even having sex. So, but I guess I have to trust my surgeon. If he thought that me having iron transfusion is necessary, then that's what I was gonna do. Meanwhile, I was waiting for my surgery. The craziest thing happened, guys. Some of you guys don't know this, but I moved in with Tattoo in May 2021, and I'd sent my insurance my updated address. But they kept mailing my dad's house. So there's a month where I guess my insurance payment didn't go through, and I didn't know because I didn't receive any letter because my old bank card had expired. So that's why the payment bounced. And I don't know, something in my heart told me around December, around early December to check. And that was when they were closing enrollment for insurances. So I just checked my account and I was like, why I can't log into my Kaiser account? Why? So I called membership and I tell them, hi, I'm trying to log into my account. They tell me something's going on. And the lady's like, oh yeah, because you didn't pay. And I'm like, I don't understand. My payments are automatic. What do you mean I didn't pay? And then she said, well, you did not pay. I was like, we sent you a letter. I'm like, what letter did you send me? I didn't receive any letter. And then she was kind of being cool. And I was like, no way on earth I'm not getting this surgery. No way on earth I'm going to go 1 year without being covered by insurance. No way. No free.
See that, guys? See how she blew up? Because she knows she's a disappointment for Tattoo. But it doesn't matter. She got him already.
Getting this surgery. No way on earth I'm going to go 1 year without being covered by insurance. No way. No freaking way. Do you know how long I've waited for this surgery? Do you know how much mental toll is taken on me? Oh, guys, I put on my best acting skills and I started crying. I was like, I'm having a surgery. No, I'm having a surgery. You're gonna have. And then she's like, wait, you said you're having surgery? I said, yeah. I was like, you guys might be sending my dad's house. I said, move. She said, you moved. I said, yeah, I moved. I was crying. Guys, I was crying with the phone. She said, hold on, calm down. Let me check if you changed your address. I said, I did change my address. I didn't change my payment. I was like crying. And she's like, calm down, sweetie. It's gonna be okay. I'm like, I have a surgery. I'll fight for my life.
This is a Cottonelle toilet paper service announcement. Your toilet paper leaving you with an unclean feeling you can't shake? You deserve Cottonelle.
Calm down, sweetie. It's gonna be okay. I'm like, I have a surgery. I'll fight for my life.
Yeah, it's funny, right? I'm fighting for my life. I got Tattoo. I can't make love to him. My box ain't shit. I can't give him no babies. He's paying all the bills. I moved in with him. He's a great, amazing man. I don't want nobody else to fucking have him. She's fighting for her life. She'll never find a man as good as Tattoo.
And she's like, calm down, sweetie. It's gonna be okay. I'm like, I have a surgery. I'll fight for my life. And then she did check and she saw that I moved in May and I changed my address, but they were still sending emails to my dad's house. So she said that was the exemption. Yes, thank you so much. Any questions? And I told him, but I can't promise you anything because I know you want to have kids. So I'm going to try and not take out any of your ovaries. I kept insisting, like, do you think I can still have kids after the surgery? What are the rate of success after the surgery? That he would.
You think she keep begging the child. I mean, begging the doctor. You think I can have kids? You think I can have kids? You think I can have kids? It's all about Tattoo. She don't want him to go have as many babies as his heart desires and being a happy man. She would rather keep that man in this turmoil based on her pussy.
He took a pause and he said, it's totally normal for you to have concerns for any surgery, but there's a reason why they assigned you to me because I'm one of the top surgeons and I've been doing this for 20 years. And I was like, that's right. Give me the statistic. That's what I want when I call out like a healthcare provider. I want you to give me the facts. I want you to check me so I can go back to my state and you know what? Be taken care of by you and trust you. So when he put me in my place, I was like, okay, this man can handle this. December 28th, I had to go for a COVID test to make sure I don't have COVID. December 29th, I had to check in with the nurse to check clean your blood out, no teas. Also, they gave me like an antiseptic soap to wash my arms and take my blood pressure and everything. And they tested me for COVID again. And they're like, me to be done with the surgery. So they were prepping me. I met the anesthesiologist. There were also some students there, I guess, because interns, something bad happened, of course. And I was just looking at him through my mouth and he was like, ask me why she puts the anesthesia. This period has traumatized me since I was alive. Oh no. Anyway, I passed out, guys. And I think the surgery, I don't know how long the surgery lasted. I'll put that somewhere. But I woke up to a nurse talking to me. My surgeon was gone because he had to be somewhere else. And she was talking to me and I was like, what is this woman saying? I just kept falling in and out of sleep. You know, I was just falling in and out of sleep. And she told me that the surgeon called Tattoo to explain to him everything. And Tattoo called my parents. And the nurse told me that the surgery went well. The relief, but I was so out of it. I was tired. I was dehydrated. I couldn't even talk. The surgery I had is an ovarian cystectomy, and it's a laparoscopic surgery where they do 3 incisions. One is for the camera, and the other one is to just there unconscious, and then put a pad in me and they gave me new underwear. What? I went to pee, so every time she would just carry me, I'll go with her to the bathroom. I was like, which can cause infertility. So he took care of those adhesions. It was on my liver. There was a cyst on my right tube, I guess, that was blocking my right fallopian tube, and he excised that, he took it out. And there was also adhesions because of the endometriosis, which can cause infertility. So he took care of those adhesions. It was on my liver, my stomach. It was everywhere. He just cleaned me up and everything and left ovarian cyst excision. So he took out the cyst from my left ovary because the cyst was inside my left ovary. My ovary was big. I don't know if I'm going to insert the image because I don't want to be flagged. I might, but it was super big. And when I was like, I had 2 ovarian cysts, when I did that is because when you look at the ultrasound, you think that it's 2.
So you guys understand what's going on here. Tattoo, her husband, has a reconstructed pussy. At best, if he has a child, he'll have 1 at best, Lord willing. And that's just what it really is, man. You know, and like I say, who knows if the stuff will stop there? You know, he might have to deal with this for the rest of his life, you know, of going back and forth to the doctors and stuff like this. And remember, guys, when you see these baddies or these women out here, you want to pound that thing to the ground. You're never thinking that you're going to end up like this. You're never thinking you're going to end up like this. Yeah, she got 1 ovary left, man. Yeah. But majority of these women got bad, but oh man, I've heard a lot of them complaining about iron. True. Facts. A lot of them complain about iron. Anytime you hear a woman telling you iron pills and iron this and all that, if you want to, you can ask some questions. Let me type this in. Let me type that in.
It's actually 1 big cyst. So my left ovary was like this. It was just 1 big cyst that was 20 centimeters long. And he took out all the cysts, but he saved my ovary. My ovary was like this, shrink and opened. So yeah, I'm so glad he saved my ovary because he wanted to preserve some of my fertility. But with these kinds of procedures, you're going to lose some eggs, you know. But
But the thing is that the pros of having the surgeries outweigh the cons because I can't get pregnant with 2 big cysts. The baby's not going to survive, you know? So I'd rather lose a few eggs and have a clear uterus, right? For the baby to grow properly than have 2 big cysts and maintain my eggs. So that's what they found. And he tested the tissue and it was not cancerous. So yeah, that was a win for me. But he didn't touch my fallopian tubes because of the surgery. He wanted me to recover. And then he said,
So the question is it a win for her husband? The question is it a win for her husband or did she get lucky? You know? Okay. Is it a win for her husband? Is it a win for you, brothers? If you had that, would you consider that a win? Let me know, man. Like I said, you think that husband, do you think that husband is happy? Fuck is you talking about, man?
Hey y'all, TikTok, we back. I mean, what's up? No, let me stop. I just wanted to give a quick update. I did visit with my hematologist, and guess what, y'all? The iron infusions worked. My numbers are back up to normal, so thank God I don't need any more for now. So next stop is surgery. I have surgery February the 24th. That is for my open myomectomy to remove the fibroids. So y'all do me a favor, say a prayer for me. Thanks. Love y'all. Bye.
Hey, Bernie, you missed it. That girl, she got her husband. She fleeced that nigga, B. Yo, she was like, yo, fix my box. I need my husband. She's like, yo, he's an amazing man. I would never want him to go be amazing with another woman with a healthier pussy. Unreal. I was fucking this one gladiator who pussy kept farting. The following weekend, I guess she got horny and wanted me to put my finger in her semi-wet pussy like that was going to impress me. Well, she only got 2 superpowers, Key. She got to use them. You understand me? She only got 2 superpowers, Key.
I want to give you guys an update on my hysterectomy journey. And I want you to know that I stopped crying just long enough to film this. So if I look rough, I'm sorry. Last week, they did an ultrasound, both internally and externally, to see what was going on in my uterus. And guess what they found? A shit ton of fibroids. Based upon the findings from the ultrasound, my doctor felt that it was best that we move forward with the hysterectomy. They are going to perform the surgery laparoscopically. They're going to make 4 small incisions, and they are going to...
Sorry, guys. I know. We should go to that other story for Bernie because it gets no better, man. But like I said, I take a little bit of joy. I take a lot of pride. And, you know, just bringing these conversations out. You guys are some of the most elite knowledge havers of the women out here. I'm sorry, because you know you won't have this conversation anywhere else. And I know I can stand on that. You know, so it's a beautiful thing, man. You know you some pussy.
To remove my fallopian tubes, my uterus, and my cervix, but they do plan on allowing for me to keep my ovaries. They will not be pulling it through those incisions. They're actually going to bag them internally and pull them. Girlies out there, just to give you context, if you're on this journey, my levels are at an 8.8. So she would like to see that a little bit higher. So we are going to have to move forward with iron transfusions. Again, very scary to me. If they do not work, then the next step before surgery would be a blood transfusion. I'm scared out of my mind. You know, she mentioned breathing tubes, blood transfusion, iron, and it was the strangest thing because I knew me and her were in the room. I heard everything she said, but I literally could not process a singular thing that she said.
Class, what have you learned? You have heard this 3 times today. They're in the doctor, they hear the Pussycat Facts report, and then the people that they're that's talking starts to sound like Charlie Brown. They tune everything out. Boy, that Pussycat Facts report will break you. You hear me?
Except not process a singular thing that she said. So I'm just kind of reaching out to you guys. You have all given me such amazing advice.
Woo! That was something else right there, guys. Sorry about that, man. That was rough. Yeah, my guy Bernie came through.
You can feel literally everything, and it's so painful. And even urinating as well when I'm on my period, when your bladder is full, it may be extremely painful just because it's full. And then when you try to urinate, again, it's painful to release that liquid from your system. Basically, allowing anything to come out of your body, allowing anything to dispel is so painful, to the extent that you try and hold everything in, you try and clench your muscles that it doesn't come out. But of course, you need to let these things release. It definitely is very much like diarrhea. So physically drained and exhausted after bowel movements. So I sometimes have pain in my pelvic area, in my legs on days where I'm not even on my period. So you can have this pain due to endometriosis, even like on any day of the month. Basically, you just feel like you're a victim to your body, like your body is just doing its own thing, like it has a mind of its own.
That's one thing that you learn, class. The box, you double cross the box will double cross you.
Can cause a lot of low mood because you feel down, that your body feels so rubbish. It can cause a lot of bloating as well. So you may have what they call an endo belly, where you perpetually look like you're pregnant. It can cause infertility as well. It can cause ovarian cysts, so things that are called endometriomas, so fluid-filled sacs. And yeah, the list goes on and on and on. And I feel like I even forget sometimes all of the symptoms that I have with my endo, because the list is endless. And if I could suggest anything, I would advise that you keep a symptom diary, because it is so easy to forget all the symptoms your body goes through when you have 101 symptoms. You can track like at what time of the month, what day of the month your symptoms tend to occur, so that hopefully you can try and spot patterns with your endo flare-ups. Or even if it is an endometriosis that you have, it's useful for you to be able to take your symptom information to your GP, to your health practitioner, and show them that I have these symptoms.
So you get it, guys. I know this girl's boring, but you get it. All right? She's twisted.
It usually takes women years, like 10 years plus, to actually get a diagnosis, because oftentimes you're underdiagnosed or you're misdiagnosed. Your symptoms are mistaken for other illnesses, other conditions, or they may just simply brush it off and say, oh, it's just down to painful periods, or you've got IBS, or this is normal. So again, it is so important that you try and keep track of all the changes to your body that you notice, so that people can hopefully take you seriously.
On sharing some information about some of the common endometriosis symptoms that you could be possibly ignoring or dismissing. So let's jump into it.
I mean, these people just don't care. Yeah, I love the foreign accents, man. Yo, in the UK, they actually got it bad. You be surprised. You're like, damn, my black sisters all over the world. The UK accent is something else.
So that we all try and learn as much as we can about things like how to reduce inflammation in our bodies. So foods we can eat to try and reduce inflammation, to try and rid or help our bodies rid itself of excess estrogen, for example. It's so important for us to research about toxins in our environment, in our cosmetics, in the products that we use, and to try and reduce those toxins accordingly. It's also important for us to live a healthy lifestyle.
See how much you got to do to maintain a good pussy? It's real serious work. It needs to be a lifestyle. Now we know that they can't achieve that because of systemic programming. You know, so the cycle is just not good. Yeah, she got that banana head. Hey, son, she got that banana head.
Try and be active, try and increase the circulation to our pelvic area, and overall just be interested in wellness, health and wellness from a natural, holistic point of view. That's definitely the approach that I'm taking right now. I'm eating more things like ginger, turmeric. I no longer eat cereals because they're loaded with sugar. I've also decided to stop drinking fruit juices because, again, that's just a lot of sugar and I'm trying to avoid sugar spikes. I now make my own bread from home. So I bake my own homemade bread because I'm trying to reduce chemicals and just try and eat not a fully plant-based diet, but just try and eat fewer processed foods and more whole foods. Also, I'm trying to reduce stress as well because endometriosis has been linked to chronic stress. Thyroid conditions are also linked to chronic stress. I know that I always feel stressed and I do struggle with low mood quite a bit. So yeah, I don't know whether my chronic stress has been the cause of my endometriosis or whether it has impacted things. It probably has. So I'm just looking at my life as a whole, as a full system holistically, and just trying to make better choices, better decisions, and do what I can to keep my body well. I want to be sharing all the things I'm learning on this holistic wellness journey with you because
holistic wellness journey. That's after 30 years of eating and, participating in girls' trips. And, other people get to eat things around you and nothing happens to their body. And you believe that you can do the same. No, I'm not talking about other girls. She want to do the same thing that other men can do. I mean, bro, like I said, you can watch any other content out here and they will speak as nothing can put a woman in their place. Over here, you see a woman in her place by her damn self. Nobody got to tell her. Her own box told her, you got to get in line. All that systemic programming gonna kill you.
Yeah, a lot of us live really stressful lives and a lot of us don't feel connected to our bodies or in tune with our bodies. I have signed up to an integrative health and nutrition course. I'm also doing another course which is like just solely focused on holistic wellness. So yeah, I'm studying so much. I'm trying to educate.
Right. Too little, too late, bitch. Too little, too late. You understand? Sorry, guys. I know how it is, man. It's nothing that you're going to hear on these internet streets that's going to put women in their place. Oh, Son Welbeck. Oh, I got to show my nigga. Oh, man. That woman was balling, King. That pussy went bad and she was pissed.
Fibroids and ovarian cyst. So what is all that? Again, tumors become quite large. If that's the right, I'm super excited. We went to this doctor and we get there and it was so, it was just no hope, basically. That was the vibe of the meeting, no hope. She was very, very cold, very cutthroat. I don't know if she just had a bad day or just, I don't know. But I remember her saying all the things that I had, all those conditions that I had. And I remember her saying, like, there's no possible way you can have children. And at that point, I kind of just shut down. I wasn't really hearing anything at that point. Everything kind of went black, kind of. And it was kind of like Charlie Brown, like, wah, 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 that teacher. That's kind of how it was. Everything she was saying was very muffled. Like, I was just kind of shut down, kind of just like, dang, I can never have children one day. Like, that's crazy. And so I was trying to be strong for my parents. I didn't want to cry in front of them. I'm not saying crying's wrong, but at the moment I was just like, I got to be strong for them. So went to the car and my mom turned around and she looked at me and she said, what report are we going to believe? And that's something my mom has said throughout my life. It's a verse in the Bible. And I said to her, I looked at her and I said, we're going to believe the report of the Lord. And my mom randomly flipped open her Bible and it landed on a passage in Isaiah. I can't remember if it's Isaiah. It's in the 50s, Isaiah 55, maybe 56, but basically talks about how God is the God who opens wombs and closes wombs. He's the one who gives children. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think in that moment, the Lord was showing us that, like, to be strong, to have faith in him, to believe on that promise that he is the one who does these things, not man. And so at that moment I was like, okay, like, we can do this. Like, even though I was still had a lot of questions, a lot of things racing through my mind, that verse gave me hope. And again, I don't think that was my chance. And so before my parents dropped me off at the metro, my mom ran into the store and my dad turned around to me and said, he basically shared a story with me that I kind of heard my whole life.
Yeah. That's how it gets, man. It's that woman is just crying, you know. We wish better for the black woman, man. Like, you know, these other panels are arguing with these women. We know these women are really, really in pain, man. We know what's really up. And we sitting there saying, like, sis, why are you doing this? This is ridiculous. Sitting there going through all this stuff by yourself. Yes, you can fleece a man. Shit, I would advise it. I know it ain't cool, but ain't, you know, to go through this by yourself is ridiculous, man. That shit is crazy. All because you don't want nobody knowing that they've programmed you for man to love pussy over everything. So you'll just hide everything and go through this pain and everything by yourself. And the only time that you reveal it is after you marry the man that you chose was good to you, meaning you fucked him in discomfort and bad times, making him think he was having pleasure. Man, it is sinister all the way through. After that, you know that shit was fucked up. You say, yo, there's still a chance we could get pregnant. So you go ahead and you get this good man to get you pregnant. What happens next? Complications. You know? Man turns out to live you can call it what you want, but it's definitely unfulfilled. You know? Man got successful and everything, all for that to happen to him? How's that cool? How's that? Yo. When all it takes is a little honesty and then a little courtesy. Yeah, I realize my box ain't good enough. You a man that deserves as many children as you desire. You know? Last thing you should be worried about is what he's doing, knowing that you can't help. That's when you get these good women, baby. You get these good women. They know how to take care of a man. They know one of the superpowers are gone. So she has to be a good woman in every other way. And you'll never get that out of a woman, for the most part, until everything's settled with the Pussycat Facts report. Once all of this shit is settled, once all the smoke clears, you sit there and you say, okay, boo, I love you for you. That little Pussycat Facts report, yeah, it's up, it's high a little bit, but I could work with that. You're way more important to me than some pussy. But they don't believe that. They're programmed to think differently. And they always say, men are just fuck anything. Not if we knew your Pussycat Facts report, we'll fuck you, but it'll totally be different. And in a lot of cases, might not even fuck you. Do not limit my sophistication like that. Hell no, I'm just my brothers ain't just fucking anything. Let them know what you're dealing with. That man, that woman, if this woman right here say she has all of this stuff going on, a man will be like, boo, you want to just be a fun toy? Because you can't think that I'm gonna take you all the way serious. But that's the programming that she's dealt with.
Well, it was just no hope, basically. That was the vibe of the meeting. No hope. She was very, very cold, very cutthroat. I don't know if she just had a bad day or just, I don't know. But I remember her saying all the things that I had, all those conditions that I had. And I remember her saying, like, there's no possible way you can have children. And at that point, I kind of just shut down. I wasn't really hearing anything at that point. Everything kind of went black, kind of. And it was kind of like Charlie Brown, like, wah, 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 that teacher. That's kind of how it was. Like, everything she was saying was very muffled. Like, I was just kind of shut down, kind of just like, dang, I can never have children one day. Like, that's crazy. And so I was trying to be strong for my parents. I didn't want to cry in front of them. I'm not saying crying's wrong, but at the moment I was just like, I gotta be strong for them. So went to the car.
There you have it.
already knew everything that's going on within me. They basically said I have to operate ASAP. My parents were like, no, because they were saying like they have to take out my ovaries and stuff like that, or yeah, give me a hysterectomy. And my parents were like, absolutely not. So left the doctors. They gave me some medicine that kept things at bay, but the medicine only did so much. Like it wasn't addressing the root issue, which based on my study and just different things I've looked at, it's really inflammation. And so the medicine was only doing so much.
Really inflammation. I know I got it sped up a little bit. Really inflammation. We say you need an anti-inflammatory diet. We tell them that. What do? Seafood broil, give me extra sauce on this. Give me extra ranch and give me this. And I want the extra tartar. You understand?
Really inflammation. And so the medicine was only doing so much. It really only could do so much. So fast forward, went to go see some other doctors saying the same thing. Like I said, then finally the surgeon that we finally settled on, so thankful for his life. Oh my gosh. Just the vibe was just different. He's excited. He's happy he came in. I was like, wow, this is a different, change of pace because I'm used to doom and gloom and used to basically not ever have children. Like they're taking out your ovaries. You're only 23 or 22 at this time, but good luck kind of. But this.
Damn, she was 23 or 22 at the time, King. If we knew they were sick, we wouldn't want to smash. I agree. I think they give men so little credit when it comes to this box. It's just that men, they don't know. Nah, you don't know what you fucking, brother. If men knew, are you kidding me? Brothers would be like, I think I could go try to get something else. So the question is, excuse me. The question is, do you think they want you to know the Pussycat Facts report, or do you think they don't want you to know? That's the question. Is the potatoes and the corn all starchy foods, all the sugary drinks, and you name it. Just keep naming it, man. They have been programmed to eat a certain way, dog. And we all have. We had to grow up and say, oh, no, I can't do this all the time. So they never do. On top of that, they're popping birth control. On top of that, they're on antidepressants. On top of that, they always tell you, I'm taking ibuprofen and all this wild shit. So they're drugged up, flamed up diet, reckless lifestyle, ignore pain and symptoms, gut it out, but tell you need to get your shit together. Man, yeah. As these people age, it won't get any better, right? Last thing they want is, it's serious though. Last thing, this is important. Last thing they want is you to be caring for them because they would feel like they have to return that towards you. You see? So they want to appear healthy and strong. See? And they'll do all of this stuff in secret. That's all it is, King. Once you start to tapping into this shit, you like, damn, like what is wrong with you? So that's why we teach men over here, hey, go ahead, open up certain conversations, sneak around, get your Pussycat Facts report. Learn this opponent. Then when things hit the fan, you can really have real conversations. Because all along, she faking. If she ain't coming at you with the Pussycat report after a few months, she faking. So you getting all your information, and when shit hit the fans, the conversation that needs to be had, you have all of your weaponry. Because at the end of the day, it's still war, King. I know you want it to be like cool. It's not. It's not cool.
Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely than white women to develop uterine fibroids.
Well, WGN's Gator Hall shares the story of one woman who went from hopeless to hopeful. How are you?
3 months after her 4th surgery, Melanie Parker is back at Northwestern Medicine for a checkup with Dr. Magdi Milad.
There you go. All day, all night, player, all day, all night, by herself. For the most part. Like I said, only time they're not by themselves is after they fleeced an amazing man. Remember that. And the only time a man is amazing is when he can bypass how he's been fleeced. Crazy work. Crazy work. And they definitely don't want us to know. If they wanted us to know, they would lead with that. What is wrong with them? But they hide their feelings and things way more than men. Yes. But you got to understand, you already know why they won't lead with it. You already know, man. Come on. That's a trick question. It will disarm them. They don't want to be disarmed, King. It's war. Who the hell wants to be disarmed in a war?
Today, I am going to do a video about endometriosis, my diagnosis, my journey, and a little Q&A because I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me any questions that you want about endometriosis. I'm going to be as open and transparent as possible because I really feel that it's very
Welcome, my homie Tommy Lee. Welcome, Tommy Lee. Let's get it.
very important to raise awareness about this. I'm not usually someone to post or to share too much of my private life on social media, but with this, I really wanted to share it and talk.
I'm not one too much to share too much of my private life. What private life? The ability to fleece men. Yes, she has courage of putting this on the internet. We want to know, what are you telling men 3 months after he start making love to you?
Talk about it. A lot of us struggle with these type of issues and kind of ignore them because we don't know better or we're told that it's normal and it's really not. So I'm here to share my story and to answer some of your questions. And I hope that you guys find this informative. I hope that it helps some of you guys that recognize yourself in my story and in these symptoms. And please, please, please go get checked. Make sure to really push for an answer if you truly feel like something is wrong, because you know your body best and you know what's normal and what's not. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Endometriosis. A lot of people don't know about it, but I do know that it's getting a lot more awareness recently. According to
It's getting a lot more awareness recently, guys, but not to the men, not to the fucking enemy, okay?
the bowel, bloating is a big symptom for me. And a lot of the questions that I got were basically saying, how did you get diagnosed? What were your symptoms? What did it take to get the right diagnosis? So I think that's a good way to start this video. So I first got my period when I was 14, I think. I got it quite late compared to my peers. The girls.
Y'all already know the story. Listen, I've beat you down with this story so much involuntarily. They never give me a chance to teach anything new. It's called programming, guys. It's called programming. I don't get the opportunity to teach anything new, so I have to ask the class the questions. She said she was getting her period since 14. What most likely happened next, class? We all know the answer, right? So if a lot of Black women get their periods early, and what happens? They don't like to have their period, but they go after the transgenders for not being able to have one. What is the likely chance of what this woman will do now that she has her period at 14?
In my class, they all got it quite early on, like as early as 11 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. I was one of the latest for my group of friends and for my classmates that got her period. So I got it around when I was like 14. And from the start, my periods were so painful. My periods were so painful. The cramps, the back pain, headaches, like the cramps were so.
Remember, guys, they hold this against the transgenders. So what is that's the hint. What is the likely thing that she's going to do? Come on, class. There you go, Tommy Lee. I mean, it's too fucking easy at this point.
And from the start, my periods were so painful. My periods were so painful. The cramps, the back pain, headaches, like the cramps were so bad that it would make me throw up sometimes. It would make me faint sometimes. That's how bad the cramps were. I wasn't able to go to school or to work for 2 days usually. My periods were never really long, so I never had like 7-day periods. It was always like 3-4 days, which thank God. And the first 2 days were the worst. One day it got so bad. This was 2014, and I was in Eritrea at the time for summer with my family, and it was so bad. I was throwing up. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to go to the doctors because this is not normal. So I go to the doctors when I get back from Eritrea. This is when I was living in Holland. So 14, I was 15 years old, about to turn 16. So I go to the doctors, and the doctor says it's normal. They just put me on birth control.
There you have it. My class is solid. Yo, my class is solid gold. Now that's good money. You think I don't get any fulfillment out of that? Come on, guys. Birth control, of course. Of course. So now she's 15 or 16 years old on birth control. Let's continue.
So mind you, it's 2014. I'm 15 years old, and I'm being put on birth control. Cool. I started.
Unlimited 1.5% cash back is just the beginning. With no annual fee. Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
Anytime is a perfect time for an Oscar Mayer wiener.
She's from Holland.
I don't get many side effects from the birth control, by the way, which thank God I was really grateful for, because that was one thing I was scared of, because a lot of people, they gain weight, their skin, their mood, like there's a lot of side effects that come with birth control, but they put me on a lighter dose. So yeah, I didn't have that many side effects. I guess my body reacted well to it. So I get on birth control and the painful periods reduce. Like the pain reduces. It's not as bad. I still have cramps though. Like I still am kind of like struggling on day 1 of my period. But at this point, because I'm told that it's normal, I'm kind of gaslighting myself and being a bit delusional and just forcing myself to get through the day, even though I'm still having cramps. But it's not as bad as it was when I was off my birth control. So I just took it. Also, I went to the doctors again, and the doctor told me, if you want, you can skip your periods. So the birth control pill that I was on, I had to take the birth control pill every day for 3 weeks. And then you take a break for 1 week. And in that 1 week, you get your period. And then you continue to take it for 3 weeks. So it was 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So if you want to skip your period, what you can do is just take the pill every day, no breaks. And the doctor told me, if you want, the best way to do this is to take it 3 months in a row and then have 1 week off to get your period, like every 3 months, basically. So that's what I usually did. I didn't do it strictly, but I just had my period. Like I just took that 1 week off every so often, because I also felt a bit wrong. Like it just felt wrong to not have my period for like a year, for example.
Hello. So you'll sit around and not have your period for a year, knowing that it's wrong, but you're like, hey, I want to be able to hang out with my friends.
So yeah, I just skipped my period a few times and then had my period and did it like that. So I was taking the pill for years. Around.
I was taking the pill for years. So she knew it was bad, but it still ended up being for years. Okay, guys?
Wrong to not have my period.
Why, class? Why? Because she said it didn't have any side effects and she still looks good.
For like a year, for example. So yeah, I just skipped my period a few times and then had my period and did it like that. So I was taking a pill for years. Around 2019 or 2018, I had an internal ultrasound because I was having pains in like my left lower like pelvic area, I guess you can say it. So I got an internal scan where they basically do an ultrasound, but from the inside. It was a man that did it, and he basically told me everything is fine, everything looks good. Your uterus is just hanging a bit lower, like it's just positioned a bit lower, which is why you're having a little bit of pain, but everything looks fine. Fast forward to 2022, I was having like such vague symptoms, like I was having.
Pay attention, guys. She did a fast forward for 3 years. She never said she got off the birth control. Let's go.
Tension headaches every single night, really bad tension headaches. I was moody. I was just not feeling great. Like I was in a bad mental space and there was a lot going on. So there was just so much, like, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling great. And I thought maybe I need to get off the pill.
There we go. See that? Even with all the stuff and everything happening, she never thought it was the pill. Why? Because that helps her fuck and fleece men. Let's go.
Because first of all, at this point, it's been 8 years that I've been on a pill. And I was a little bit scared because I was like, if I ever want to have kids, like, is this going to affect me being on a hormonal pill for 8?
So now, after 8 years, I might want to have kids. Ma'am, are you taking any questions? Do you think if I went and had a baby with a woman who didn't be on the pill for 8 years and all of the things that you have going on with your box, would I have a better chance of having a healthier baby? Simply put.
A little bit scared because I was like, if I ever want to have kids, like, is this going to affect me being on a hormonal pill for 8 years? So I wanted to stop. That's one reason why. The second reason why was because I was having all these vague symptoms and I was going back and forth to the doctors. We were taking blood tests, like checking my iron levels, my vitamin levels. My thyroid was a bit messed up as well. And at one point, my thyroid level was a bit lower, a bit high, one of the two. And I asked my doctor, does birth control affect your thyroid levels? Because your thyroid, it makes hormones, basically, something to do with making hormones for your body. So in my head, your thyroid makes hormones. Your thyroid is in your throat, by the way, and birth control is hormones. So in my head, it's going to affect it. But I asked my GP, and my GP was like, no, that has nothing to do with it. That won't affect it. I get home. I thought, let me Google it anyways. So I Google it, and I find that actually birth control does affect your thyroid levels. And the symptoms that I was having could be a result of my thyroid levels. So I said, okay, you know what? I've been thinking about it for a while anyways. This was kind of the cherry on top that made me stop the pill. So
after all of these years, the cherry on top made her finally stop the pill. Now, no man knows that this is going on with her. So she's still able to throw this box out here. Let's go.
February 2022, I stopped the pill. Luckily, I got my periods quite regularly. It didn't take that long for the pill to kind of get out of my system, because some people report that it takes like 6 months. It can take up to a year for all the hormones to get out of your body. But for me, I kind of got, like, I didn't have that many irregular periods or anything like that. I continued to be on time every month. So I get off the pill, and then the painful periods start coming back, as painful as it was before I got on the pill. So when I was back in 2014. So the painful periods come back. I kind of let it happen for like a year, because in the back of my head, I'm thinking it can take a while for the hormones to get like out of your system. So
she didn't want to realize to the fact that, no, she got one of those bad pussies, okay? And it was going to take a lot of maintenance and lifestyle to make sure it works right. Let's go.
2023, a year later, a year and a half, I would say, I'm like, what's going on? Like, the periods got so bad. Like, I couldn't leave my bed even. That's how bad the cramps were. And my period usually comes on in the nighttime, like when I'm sleeping, or in the morning. So it's like straight away, start of my day, boom, like the cramps are there, everything is there. So I struggle to get out of bed. Like, I'm really going through it. So I go to the doctors. I go to the GP. I felt like the GP was not taking me serious. It was a male GP. He was just calling it dysmenorrhea or something like that. I'll put it here, the name of it. And it basically means, it's basically a medical term for painful periods. And he was like, well, we can put you on a pill. I was like, no, like, I've been on a pill for 8 years. I want to get to the root of this problem. I don't mind going on a pill again, but before I do, I want to know what's causing this. Like, my sister has PCOS. At this point, I'm thinking,
what do we got here? We got more box in the flesh. And it is what it is, man. It's not a knock. It's something to, first of all, help them get their health in order. And then second of all, stop playing around with my brothers like you are some well-to-do person just because you could put on makeup and look good. You don't even carry yourself right on the most simplistic ways of life. It don't cost you shit. They're giving out free fucking food in America and the UK. You do not have to eat this bullshit to fuck up your body. You do not have to get on birth control to fuck up your body.
I might have PCOS. She had a cyst on her ovaries. So I'm thinking I might have PCOS, but
Roland Garros is all about playing for the advantage.
So her and her pretty, beautiful sister got that box for you brothers, players. This is what it is, man. You'll never hear these stories anywhere.
And I couldn't relate to the symptoms of PCOS because it's a lot, like, it's very hormonal. Like, a lot of people with PCOS are like overweight, or like, one thing I've noticed that a lot of people with PCOS have is like chin hair, or like hair in unusual places.
Class, you already know this, class. You've covered everything regarding the box for the most part. You know everything.
I couldn't relate with those symptoms of PCOS much. but I thought it might be an option anyways. So I go to my doctor. I want to get to the root of this problem before I jump on another birth control again, because this is not normal. It is not normal to have such painful periods. I already did my research before I went to the doctors, and I told him this is not normal, because all that I've been reading online is basically it is not normal if your period is so painful that it's interfering with your daily life. Yeah, you should have cramps, but not that bad. It shouldn't be so bad that you can't go to work or you can't go to school or you can't function for a day or two. So I told my doctor, this is not normal. I have to take time off work. I can't go to school. I can't do anything on my first 2 days. And the doctor wasn't really taking me serious, but because I was pushing for it, he said, okay, I'm going to send a referral for an x-ray, for an ultrasound, and we can go from there. Let's do a scan and let's do a blood test, I think it was. So cool, I do that. Blood test is fine. I do the scan. He says everything seems normal on your scan. So I'm like, okay, what now? Because I'm not going to settle for this. I really, truly felt like something was wrong. And at this time, I'm also reading about endometriosis, and I really, really related to the symptoms of endometriosis. So the doctor says, okay, I'll refer you to the gynecologist. This is public healthcare. This is the NHS in the UK. I get a referral to the gynecologist, and they said, like, you'll hear back from us within like 8 to 10 weeks about an appointment. But the waiting times are over a year. So I'm chasing the appointment line, and they tell me they never had a referral for me. So I'm like, my GP referred me. Apparently the referral got lost. I was so annoyed, but you know what? It happens, whatever. I get my GP to resend the referral. They get it, and they're like, the waiting times are 65 weeks. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I cannot wait 65 weeks. I'm literally dying every month. Like, I'm struggling. I'm going through so much pain every single month. I cannot wait.
What does that mean, class? What does that mean? That means she need a man. She needed to be with a man that's covered already. You understand? This is what they go through, son. Hey, man. Come on, y'all. Why she couldn't have a man? No reason she couldn't have a man with coverage. No reason. The price of independence, King. That's the price of independence, the cost, the real cost of independence. The price, the cost, whatever. That's what it is right there. She's on a public health care thing in the UK, and they told that bitch she got to wait 65 weeks to get her box examined, more or less reconstructed. That is a direct example of not doing right, being able to pair bond with a man that cares about you, fleecing him correctly, which is fine, but at least you know you're trying to, I guess, do something by the Black community. Yeah, I would say. But at this point of trying to do it the independent way, it's impossible for you to contribute towards the community. And like I said, guys, this is the game. These are the stories you're never going to hear, man. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's just the stone cold truth of what you need to know. She's on public health care, and she has to wait 65 weeks to get a box examined.
65 weeks. So the girl on the appointment line, bless her, like, she couldn't do much, but she was like, okay, go back to your GP and ask him to expedite the referral, which means to make it like an urgent referral. So I go back to my GP. My GP's like, okay, I'll do it. Again, some administrative stuff happens where they can't expedite my referral. All of this is happening like over the course of a few months. Like, it's just taking so long. Eventually, they submitted the urgent request and the hospital declined it. So at this point, we're in January. I'm interviewing for a new job. I get the job, and this job comes with a lot of great company benefits. One of our company benefits is private healthcare. So I start this job in March, and the rule was that you have to work for at least 1 month for this private healthcare to be activated, basically. So that's fine. April comes, and my private healthcare gets activated. Straight away, like literally on the day, it was a Monday, I activated my healthcare, and I made an appointment with a private GP on Wednesday. No, sorry. I think I had a virtual appointment on Monday, and they referred me straight away to a private gynecologist on a Wednesday. So they told me that I can pick a clinic.
This is truly life-changing info right here, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I would dare to say that the algorithm is not going to push this channel out, because it would definitely upset the balance. I mean, I hate to say it, but real men understand that. Like, all the real men understand. And I'm going to say this, homie. Like, even us, we don't even use it, you know, to the best of our ability, because we know we have this weapon of mass destruction. You know what I'm saying? We have like the nuke code. You understand? So once you get this information, and when men finally get this information, and it's not really about the stuff that the women have, it's about how they use it in practice. So even if the men knew about this, they still don't know how to break it down the way that we can, because we show you how they put this in practice from a teenager all the way up. They could never break it down unless they really understood it like we do. You understand? But this is such a weapon of mass destruction that I would say that men fear this shit, because this is serious. This is serious. Like, we know what we're cooking over here. What's that shit that the Iranians want? The Iranians want that. What is it? Uranium? They want that. We cooking uranium up here.
Any clinic that has like the fastest appointment time in the UK, just as long as it's part of their private health network thing. So I do my research, and I find that there's this doctor in this clinic that's like specialized in endometriosis, and they have an appointment for the Wednesday. So mind you, I got my private healthcare on Monday, got the GP appointment on Monday, and then I got the gynecology referral on the Wednesday. What took months and months and months for NHS to do literally happened in the span of 2 days with a private healthcare. So anyways, I go to my gynecology appointment on a Wednesday, and this doctor is specializing on endometriosis. So I tell him my symptoms, I tell him everything, and he's like, yeah, this literally sounds like a textbook case of endometriosis. So he does a few scans. He does an internal ultrasound and an external one. And he's like, I can see a little bit. It doesn't look like it's a lot, but I can see a little bit on the scan. So one thing with endometriosis is it doesn't really show on ultrasounds. Sometimes it shows on MRI scans, but even
that nigga, man, thanks, man. My gladiator's coming in. Hello.